Hey loves, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. So on today's video, I wanted to talk about how to talk to a man, because my husband and I was having like a little discussion, and he was like, a lot of these women out here don't know how to talk to a man. I'm so glad you know how to communicate well, Anyways, I wanted to cover the topic of how to talk to a man, and pretty much I have 5 ways. I think it's 5 tips. So I just want to jump right into it. So the first tip is to be feminine. No man likes a woman who thinks she's a man as well. Yeah, in a relationship or more so in a marriage, you should be equal to a certain extent. But when you're talking to your husband, you're not a man, so you can't talk to him like a man. So as far as this, you would never raise your voice in an aggressive tone. You don't argue with him. You don't devalue him. You don't do anything that can possibly hurt you as well. Most people don't want to argue. Like, if you're a sane person, you wouldn't want to argue. That's pretty much tip number 1. I think this tip is important because being feminine overall, if you're in your femininity, your zone, then you'll know exactly how to talk to him, and you'll know not to devalue him in any way. You can't do this, you can't do that, why can't you be like this, why can't you be like that? Like, those are forms of devaluing a man. I think this is why I listed this as number 1, because overall you have to make sure you are in your femininity before you talk to a man. Because if you raise your voice as a woman towards a man, he's not going to listen to anything you have to say. He's going to see it as like you're coming for him, you're being aggressive, you just want to fight, you just want to argue because you're being emotional. And when you raise your tone and you seem as if you're being aggressive, then you are being emotional and you're letting your emotions take over. So you don't want to let your emotions take over, because at that point, no man is going to listen to you. It's going to go in one ear and out the other, and it's just not going to be good. So if you really want him to listen to you, be feminine. Don't raise your voice. Don't stoop. Don't act manly towards him. Pretty much. So tip number 2. Tip number 2 pretty much coincides with tip number 1. Do not argue with him. Number 1, because you are too cute for that. You don't need to be arguing with nobody. Don't argue with anybody. You're too cute for that. And he's not going to listen to you, like I stated. If you feel like you're getting emotional, or if you feel like he's getting upset, the best thing to do is just walk away and then come back when the situation calms down, or when your emotions are in check, or when everything is good and you're able to better communicate in that way, because everything you say while you're emotional is not going to make sense to him. He's going to be like, I don't care what you're talking about, because all I see right now is you crying, or all I see right now is you screaming at me. So I'm not going to listen, because all of this I can't deal. And a lot of men can't deal with women when they are highly emotional. So you want to get through to him, girl, get your emotions in check, and then come back and talk to him in a decent manner when you aren't in that state of mind. Number 3, how to talk to a man. So this one is highly important for both you and for him in your relationship as a whole. So you need to make sure you check your man every single time he cuts up. Every single time he cuts up, you gotta check him. Because if you don't, he's gonna think that he can do this, and that, and get away with this, and that. Like, if you don't check someone, then this is in any relationship. If you don't check him, you're setting your boundaries for what he's allowed to do with you in the relationship as a whole. So, for example, your husband, one day he yells or raises his voice at you in a way that can be disrespectful, and you're sitting there like, okay, not saying nothing. No, girl, no. You need to check it and be like, what the, like, who do you think you are? This is what we're not gonna do. You're gonna have to fix that real quick, okay? So that, this is why this is so important, because if you allow certain things to happen in your relationship and you didn't check it, girl, that's your fault. That is your fault. That is your fault all day, because you're telling him, in essence, you're telling him, okay, I'm not going to say nothing because I don't care if you do this. And he's going to process it in that way because that's the way the men think. So, yeah. Check it every time. Who cares if it might piss him off? Who cares if it's annoying? At the end of the day, he's going to respect that. He's going to see that you ain't no pushover and you're not any regular woman out here that's just going to tolerate anything. Because if you're able to tolerate disrespect or him or not setting boundaries, if you're not able to set boundaries, he's going to really be turned off by that. Every man likes a woman who sets boundaries, because at that point she's telling, because at that point she's telling the man, I love myself way too much to allow you to just say what you want to me and do what you want to me. I'm going to set these boundaries because this is what I want in a relationship, and this is what we're not going to do. And if you do this, I'm not going to be here. So, yeah, make sure you set those boundaries, especially up front early on in the relationship. Because you don't want to like get on like long in the relationship and you haven't set those boundaries, because he's going to text, honey. Let me tell you, a man is going to text. He's going to see, oh, what can I do with her? Is she going to let me stay out all night? Is she going to let me talk to her this way? Is she going to let me take her car whenever I want? Like, so yeah, check him. Even if you have like a disagreement or an argument, which you should never be getting into. You should never even get into an argument after he has said something disrespectful, and then you get into an argument after. Don't do that. Disagreement, okay, but don't go back and forth with him. If you want to confront him, do not use the word you, because that's gonna cause an argument. So just try to avoid the word you and try to use more of the word I feel, because your feelings are valid, and using the word you kind of tells the person that you did this to me, and because you did that to me, I feel this way. You get what I'm saying? And that, if you like kind of look at it from the outside, that kind of feels like you're being attacked. So avoid using the word you. The next one, I think this is number 4, 3, I don't know what number this is. Respect. Everybody wants respect, especially a man. Make sure you respect him, and I think respect comes with acknowledging like what he does for you, acknowledging things that he does. For example, if he makes you breakfast and you're like, you just start eating the breakfast, you don't say thank you, you just eat your breakfast that you did not make and keep it moving. Like little things like that. Say, baby, thank you so much for making me breakfast. Give him a kiss. Send him like a cute little emoji. Something. Just go like over the top as far as being like thankful. Because men love that. They love to, a man that loves you loves to see you happy. A man that truly loves you, let me clarify that, would love to see you happy and like over the top for him. That just boosts his ego like all the way through the roof. Alright, so this is the last tip, and I think this tip is probably the most important of all. I know I said a lot of them were important, but this one is like top tier importante. Like chef's kiss. Like if you don't do this, you just don't need to be talking to no man. Well, this is like the main way that men communicate. So the last one, I forgot what number I'm on, I always forget. But the last one is to be direct. Girl, I couldn't tell you this more. Make sure you are direct with him. Do not beat around the bush, because that is what women like to do. We like to be subtle. We like to beat around the bush. We like to be more like discreet with how we communicate with other women. You cannot do this with the man. You have to be straight up direct. Naturally, like growing up, I've always been a blunt person. So I kind of had that naturally, but I feel like I was a little too blunt at times, so I kind of toned down a little bit as I got older. I was super direct with what I wanted from him. I was super direct in what I wanted out of the relationship, and I was super direct in letting him understand what I will not tolerate in the relationship. So the sun is going down, y'all. It's like a little cloudy here, so it's like the sun is going and coming. So if my lighting seems off, it's because of that. You also have to be really direct when it comes to your emotions. Like I stated earlier, I feel this way because da 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 da. And then he can better understand where you're coming from if you are direct. Don't say things like, baby, he'll ask you, baby, everything good, you all right? And you'll be like, I'm fine, knowing you lying. Men hate that. Like they do, they absolutely hate that. Just like us women hate playing games, or we hate when men play games, men hate that just as much as we hate when men play games. Like it hits the same. And like an example would be, but you don't really ask, you kind of be like direct with it. Like, baby, I need your help in putting these curtain rods up today. Or, baby, I really need you to help me put these curtain rods up, because if I don't put them up, I'm not going to be able to sleep well. When the sun rises in the morning, it's going to wake me up, and I'm just going to be grouchy for the rest of the day. You get what I'm saying, though? Like, I feel like if you include the words, baby, please come help me with da 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 da, you kind of got to push it onto him. Because if you ask him and you say something like, could you please do this whenever you have time? He's probably going to be like, I'm watching football, I don't have time. And then he's going to forget. Maybe not intentionally, but he's going to forget, and he's never going to get around to it. So you got to be like, I want this done this time, right now. I need this done today, in this way. Please. Today, in this way, please. So another example would be, baby, I would really like if you could help me cook right now, because I'm handling so much. He's gonna help. He's not gonna be like, nah, I'm not helping you. Like, who can say no to that? And use your femininity when you're asking for stuff. Don't be like, baby, baby, do you feel like helping me cook right now? He's gonna be like, no, I don't. I really don't feel like helping you cook because I'm in the middle of watching football. He's gonna be honest with you. Men are brutally honest sometimes. So he's gonna be honest, girl. So you have to ask in a way to where like you gotta kind of make him do it. You gotta be direct. So yeah, that was the last tip. I got a whole bunch of other tips that I could have added on, but I didn't want the video to be too long. So if you would like me to make a part 2 on this, then thumbs up. Or if you want me to make a video that's very similar to this, thumbs up, comment below, and give me some ideas on what I can talk about next on Girl Talk Sundays. I really want to make it like a therapy Sunday. I think that is more fitting for me because I do have a background in psychology. I do have a master's degree in psychology, so my background with that is like I'm really like educated in that area. So I think I want to switch the name to like therapy Sunday, something like that. I don't know. Y'all help me come up with the name because I feel like that doesn't hit right. Like it doesn't ring the way I want it to. So therapy, psychology Sundays maybe? No? Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe, and comment below if you want me to do more videos like this or continue to do these every Sunday. And I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch my video. See you guys next week.